Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. And I finally received the fragrances that I've been waiting on for probably over a week or two. They came in and they all were blind buys, and I was pleasantly surprised about all four of them. The performance is great on every last one. So for the price point and the fragrance that you're getting along with the presentation, you can't beat it. They're very unisex. I can see women and men wearing these. Maybe one leans a slight bit more feminine, but I'm gonna give you the order in which I like them, from the least favorite to the best one. Granted, they're all the good fragrances. They all smell good. Something have to rank near the bottom, and that line is Rasasi Qasamat. This is the box. I'm just gonna show you the presentation of one because they all look familiar. Some of the accents on them are a little different. They're either lighter or darker. Each one have a different colored tassel. The cap is kind of heavy, but I think it's plastic. Now my least favorite, although it's still a nice fragrance, Bareeq. Now when you first spray this, you're gonna get a lot of citruses. You're gonna get an orange note. You're gonna get that bergamot. And you're also gonna get green apple and melon. Now melon is not listed in here, but you get that melon. Then in the middle of the fragrance, you're gonna get some saffron, you're gonna get some caramel. It's not a heavy dose of saffron. The caramel is not overly sweet. So you're getting a lot of the fruits up top, along with that saffron and the caramel that's gonna last throughout the fragrance. Then in the base, you're gonna get musk and you're gonna get a light leather. The leather is not dominant. Now I'll tell you exactly what this fragrance reminds me of. Crystal oud is like a powdery oud, and it's tart from a green apple, and you have this melon note. It smells really good, but it's kind of feminine. But you take about half of that and you combine it with Instant Crush, about half of Instant Crush with a little less vanilla. That's exactly what you're gonna get. It's a very nice fragrance, very sweet. It has vibes of Instant Crush and Baccarat Rouge, very powdery, fruity, with a light bit of saffron and a slight touch of leather. Very nice scent. Now coming up next is Ebhar. Now when you first spray this, you're gonna get some citruses, mainly lemon. You're gonna get a heavy blast of lemon at the beginning. And that's gonna last maybe 15-20 seconds. And then in the heart of the fragrance, you're gonna get a lot of florals from iris. You're gonna pick up a rose. You're gonna pick up that rose real nice. But it's not dominant, but it's there. You pick up iris. It becomes very floral in the middle of the fragrance. And then in the base, you get a strong blast of praline with some light touches of vanilla. You're gonna get some tonka. This is very sweet, almost in gourmand territory. It's unique in its own way because it brings a lot of florals in the middle, and that gonna stay throughout the duration of the fragrance. So it's very floral, sweet. The praline is very dominant. Some light touches of vanilla with some roses and iris. Very nice fragrance. It's a different take on a gourmand. It's like a floral gourmand. Very nice, sweet. Now I think this might lean a little bit feminine. Lovely. My second favorite is Morhaf. Now when you first spray this, you're gonna get lemon, you're gonna get a heavy blast of raspberry. But don't be intimidated because the raspberry only gonna last probably 30 seconds, maybe a minute. Then that disappears. And then you get this nice red rose. So it's floral, slightly sweet and fruity at the top. Then in the middle of the fragrance, you're gonna get a lot of spices, mainly from that pepper. So it's spicy, fruity, floral with that rose. And then when it dries down in the base, you're gonna get patchouli. That's just a slight bit of patchouli, a slight bit of amber that give it some kind of spiciness. And then I get a little oud. Now the oud in this is tamed. It's not animalic, not skanky. Now this is a kind of like a different take on a rose oud combo. You get that rose, you get that oud, but with all the other notes that at the top of the fragrance, it don't make it similar to any other rose oud combo. So it's a very unique scent. If you're tired of rose oud combo and you want something different with a different take on it, with all the spices at the top and the rose with some citruses, it's a very nice take on the rose oud combo. Very nice scent. You get this, you will enjoy it. No question about it. Last but not least, this is my favorite from the line. And this probably gonna get you the most compliments, whether you're male or female. It's a unique take on the fragrance to me. And that fragrance is Rasana. Now at the top of this, when you first spray it, you're gonna get a bunch of citruses. You're also gonna get like a bitter green apple that's not listed. And I pick up on an orange note up in here. So I'm getting like a fruity citruses with a bitter green vibe to it. Then in the middle of the fragrance, that's when you're gonna pick on a slight bit of leather, and you're gonna get some spices from that cypriol. Now when it dries down, to me, that's the magic of the fragrance. That's when you get a bunch of cedar wood. Just picture a hamster cage and it's just covered in there with a bunch of fruits. I know it sounds crazy, but this is a very nice, unique, woody fragrance. Spices, woody, fruity. I know for a fact that this would be a compliment getting fragrance, without a doubt in my mind, and that is Rasana. Alright guys, if you stayed this long, I want to tell you about this dupe. It was sent to me as a sample, and I know you guys are really tired of hearing about clones of Ventus, but I owned the Ventus when it first came out. This fragrance that came in today as a sample smelled exactly like the Ventus that I sold. Now that Ventus had, more of the prominent birch note, so it was more smoky. It wasn't fruity. But if you want to dupe that birch version of a Ventus, check out Dumont. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's Dumont Nitro Black. I'm telling you, this is an exact copy of that fragrance, 100% copy. So if you made it this long, that's a bonus for you. Check it out. I looked it up online. They only run like $35 for the bottle. But if you want that exact copy of that birch vintage, check out Dumont Nitro Black. I guarantee you it's the same fragrance, 100%. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that content. If you did, consider subscribing. Please stay safe. See you soon. Peace.